Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming to my channel, D versus Debt. This is D and it's Freebie / Frugal Friday. So today I'm going to be doing a tutorial to show you how to make your own mini cash envelopes using vellum. And the frugal part of it is the way that I go about trying to save as much money as possible using either repurposed materials or cheaper materials. And then the freebie part of it is that I'm going to talk about how you can get one of these from me for free during this month. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first of all, these little cash envelopes are made using vellum. So there's 2 layers of them. That means that they have a frosted back, as you can see, and then the front has a little vellum cut out right in the middle of it. So that's just kind of to give it some zhuzh, to make it a little bit more visually interesting. However, you can make this using the vellum on both sides so that it's basically sheer on both sides. So I'm going to talk about how to do that. So basically the frugal part of this is that I hate throwing things away. So these little jar cutouts are what are left over after I make a set of cash envelopes for my Etsy shop. And so I don't want to throw it away. I think it's so dang cute. So what I did is basically embed it into the laminate here to repurpose it instead of sticking it into the trash. But basically the way I get these is that I have this punch, and so I stick my cash envelope in as I'm making it, punch it, and so it spits out this little shape. And so I'm repurposing it for these envelopes. The frugal tip for this is basically to use a sheet of clear vellum, in other words unpatterned vellum. As you can see, it's only 59 cents a sheet. It's half the price basically of a vellum sheet with a pattern on it. This is the pink version, even though the camera doesn't pick it up. Same thing, the clear and the very, very light pink are 59 cents a sheet. And then the sheet with the pattern are 99 cents. So by using the unpatterned paper, you're being frugal because it's going to cost you half the price basically. So to make these, basically what I like to do is make it the size of a bill folded in half. That way you can pop it in your purse or a wallet or in your glove compartment in the car. So the measurements that I like to use are 3 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide. So I cut the paper down to size, and then I create a little sandwich. You have to have 2 sets of laminating sheets to create these. And these that I just started using, I'm going to link them in my description box down below, have been a lifesaver because these are basically half the size of a regular laminating sheet, and it just makes my life so much easier. So this is the outside layer of the sandwich. The inside layer, you do have to cut down a set of sheets that are 3.5 by 3. The exact same size as what you cut your little vellum sheet to be. So they match up perfectly. So first, before you make your sandwich, when you cut this out, you have to check and make sure the shiny side is always on the outside of your laminating sheets. However, you're going to be turning it inside out because the shiny sides don't stick together. It's the matte inside that is what sticks. So since we're creating a sandwich that is going to open up to allow our money to go in, remember the shiny sides don't stick, so we want the shiny sides together for our money to go in. And then this will adhere to the inside of this sheet. So what's going to happen is, again, first step is to turn it inside out so that now the shiny side is on the inside, the matte side is on the outside. On one side, you're going to put your full vellum sheet, and then on the other side is where the jar side is going to sit, or whatever shape you cut out. So maybe, for example, you have a heart-shaped punch, a butterfly-shaped punch, whatever it might be. So you line them up. And then you just kind of eyeball where the jar is going to be, and then you put it inside the laminating sheet. So let me go ahead and move these out of the way. So now here comes the sandwich part. Remember, the outside of the sandwich is this sheet. Then the inside of the sandwich is those two shiny sides touching each other so that they don't stick when you pass them through the laminator. And then the trick for this size that I do, in order to get it to fit too, so that I'm not using up an entire sheet just for one little cash envelope, is to face them towards each other. So my jar is kind of looking wonky. Let me try to eyeball the center of it. So now here comes the second one. Remember, the shiny side right now is on the outside because I haven't turned it inside out yet. So then I open it up. So now the shiny parts are on the inside, the matte is on the outside. Let's see if you can tell the difference between the shiny and the matte. See how shiny this is? See how matte that is? So now on one side of that sandwich is your vellum sheet, the full vellum sheet, and on the other side is your little cutout. So now I'm going to face it this way. And it's okay to put them close together like this because remember, you're going to cut right here to split the envelope open, but you do want some extra space along the side so that these cash envelopes don't split on the side. So I used to make it a lot closer to the vellum in order to make it easier to fit into a purse or a wallet, but I noticed that the sides started splitting. So now I leave extra space on the sides and on the bottom. The top does get cut right along the edge of the vellum because that's what splits your envelope open. But I don't want to cut too close on any of these sides because you don't want it to open on any of these sides. You just want it to open on the top. So it's okay to put them like this because remember, when I cut through here, that's going to pop them open, which is exactly what I want. I just don't want any of these sides here open. So now I run it through the laminator, and unfortunately I can't fit the laminator here, but just imagine, if you will, a laminator sitting here, and I feed it through the laminator. All right, thanks to the magic of editing, now I can show you what it looks like laminated. And I like to cut it using a wire cutter so that I can see exactly where I'm gonna cut. So I use this little line right here as a guide to figure out where I'm gonna line mine up. But first I want to split the top open so that I can put my money inside. So what I do is, this particular cutter has a wire, and it's hard to see on camera, but the wire lets you know exactly where you're cutting. So I line that wire right up against the edge of the vellum. So it has a little thing to hold it down. You slice it, make sure you put a lot of pressure on it so that it cuts all the way through. And now you have a pocket in there where the shiny sides were together. So let me show you by sticking a dollar bill in there what I mean by that little pocket. So it slides right in. And now I leave a lip along all the rest of the sides. I don't want to cut up right against the laminate like I did to the top, to the opening, because I don't want the sides to split. So I'm leaving more of a lip now, even though it makes it bulkier in your wallet or your purse, because that just means now that it's harder to split the sides or the bottom open. So that is what that looks like. And again, none of these sides open except for the very top where you cut right on the edge of the vellum to create your pocket. So the next part then would be to go in there and punch your corners. And that way you don't have a sharp edge that you can hurt yourself with. So there's the back, there's the front, and you just repeat the process with the other envelope. So hopefully you enjoyed that tutorial. If you have questions, please let me know. That was the frugal part of it, not throwing away any pieces that I cut out, using the cheaper vellum paper, being frugal with how I use the sheet so that I can get as many of these little envelopes per sheet as possible instead of just one per sheet. But now the freebie part, if you'd like to get one of these cash envelopes from me for free, cash not included, so it's gonna look basically like this or this, then all you have to do is send me a card to my P.O. box that's listed in the description box down below. So here's another frugal tip. I like to buy these cards at Dollar General and at Dollar Tree that are usually in a pack of 6 or 8 for $1. And they have a lot of cute little designs. So for example, this one has the little silver butterflies, which I think is just so pretty. So just send me a card and I will send you a card back with a little cash envelope inside of it. So let me know, do you want the floral cash envelope or do you want the heart cash envelope? So I'll be sending you a card back with your little cash envelope of choice. So remember, I love getting happy mail. I show it on my channel, and then I will, after showing it, write up your little card back, and I'll include the cash envelope in there that you chose, either the heart one or the little floral one. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.